Hello everybody. So today's class is going to be restorative yoga. So the purpose of restorative yoga is to reach a state of deep relaxation and healing by simply doing no work and using a ton of props. So if you have them for today's practice, I recommend a strap. These are called 3-minute eggs. So 2 3-minute eggs, 2 firm 4-inch blocks if you have them, a bolster, an eye pillow, and a towel if you want it, and a blanket. Again, I know these are things that you can find at most yoga studios, and you might not have them at home. So if you don't have them at home, especially with like a bolster, just use 2 thick, sturdy pillows that you've taken from your bedroom or whatever. You should be able to do all the moves with these as well. And because we're at home, a lot of yoga studios will use a diffuser to diffuse essential oils. I love Young Living. They've been great to me. I like their quality, their therapeutic grade. So for today, and for most of the restorative classes I teach, I use lavender just because it helps promote relaxation, and also most people aren't opposed to the smell. So anyway, if you want to start your essential oils, feel free. Let's start our practice today by coming into the recliner pose. So you want to take one of your blocks and put it up, hot dog style. Take the other block, place it at the base, hamburger style. I'm going to move my blocks. Take your bolster and place it on top here so that you can grab some of that support. Now, if you're purchasing these for home use, I highly recommend bolsters that have a removable slip cover because they're easier to wash. Same with eye pillows. It really grosses me out when people don't have a removable slip cover on their eye pillow because then they just never get washed. So anyway, but the problem with a lot of the bolsters is that they kind of attract lint. So if you want to just use a small towel just to cover the top of your bolster because that makes you feel better. Again, the goal of restorative yoga is for total relaxation. So whatever helps you get to that state where you are relaxed, just do it. So if you're at home, I recommend putting away the kids, the dog, the husband, just teasing about that, but finding a room where you can make it a little darker. Like right now I have the blinds pulled down halfway. Something that you can just kind of detach from the world for a little bit. So anyway, let's get back to this. Let's start in the recliner position, placing your hips at the base of this bolster, and don't be afraid, this is actually quite supportive. Options here, you can take your blanket and roll it and place that underneath your knees. And you can take your 3-minute eggs here, or if you don't have 3-minute eggs, you can use more blocks, just place them flat. Or if you don't have blocks, you can just use little pillows that aren't very thick. And just relax. I'm going to take my eye pillow and place it on my eyes here. If you need more neck support, you can take either this towel and roll it up, just a smaller towel, or and just place it at the base of your neck here. Again, your goal is to completely relax, so use your props for your advantage. So let's take a few moments here and just connect with our breath and relax from the day. When doing restorative, I highly suggest basically wearing pajamas. I also suggest wearing socks because you will activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest, and sometimes some people are more prone to getting cold. A lot of yoga studios will have blankets. Feel free to take more than one blanket, one to keep over you to keep you warm. As we move throughout this practice, I will be talking less and less. I invite you to drift away from this room. You've set aside the next hour for you, and I encourage you to use it intentionally. Do not worry about falling asleep. My voice will wake you up. Let's take a few rounds of breath here. Deepening with every inhale and exhale. We will hold each of these postures for about 3 to 5 minutes as if we're in yin yoga. Again, the purpose is to relax completely into them. If something doesn't feel right or feel comfortable, just adjust and move back to where you were. If you don't have an eye pillow and would like one, sometimes a lightly dampened washcloth folded will do the same trick. Feel free to pause the video here to get all of your supplies and get what you need. And then meet us back in the recliner pose. Take a big, deep inhale here. And exhale, sighing it all out. Inhale fully. Exhale, release. When you're ready, gently remove your eye bag. Remove the blanket from underneath your knees. Remove your eggs. Place them off to the side. Let's move our bolster down onto the ground. Our blocks are also off to the side. Here's again where you can uncurl that towel, place it over your bolster. Place the bolster between your knees here and come into child's pose. Turning onto one cheek here. If this isn't comfortable or if you need more support, you can add the blanket either down at the base to provide more support for your knees, or you can add the blanket between your upper and lower legs. Again, whatever is more comfortable for you. Your arms are just loose by the side. We're just taking a supported child's pose here. Feel free to close your eyes. If you have bean bags or sandbags, placing them on your spine here would feel good. Switch over onto the other cheek. When you're ready, slowly bring your elbows to your knees and gently provide support as you come up. This time, move the bolster so that it is horizontal. Remove the blanket from underneath your legs and just fold it off to the side because you'll be using it. This time, move that left hip coming over towards your bolster so that your leg and your bolster are parallel. Extend that left arm long and reach as far over as you can. Options here, you can take this blanket and use it as support. Whoops, mine came apart. As support here. You can take an egg or a block and place it between your knees if that feels better for you. And use that right hand and just place it wherever it feels comfortable. You want to make sure that your thigh is pressed up against this bolster and that your extended hand is out perpendicular to the bolster. And relax. When you're ready, slowly bring your head off your blanket. Take the blanket to the side and support yourself up. Remove the block or 3-minute egg from beneath or between your legs. Switch around so that your other hip, your right hip, is glued up against your bolster. Place the other block between your legs. Reach up long and fall over. Left hand just goes where it's comfortable. Slowly remove your head off your blanket. Remove your arms, using them to support you as you make your way to a seated position. This time, let's take our bolster and place it vertically, turning around so that the base of our spine, our sacral region, is smack dab up against that bolster. Grab your blanket, grab your eggs or your blocks, slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Again, options to roll to support your neck, options to take pretzel legs, or to take it with your feet together, whatever feels good for you. And then use your blanket to just cover yourself so that you're nice and warm. And again, options to reach around and find your eye pillow. Slowly remove your eye pillow or your washcloth, tossing it over to the side. using your forearms to support you as you come out of that pose. And this time we come back to our left hip up against our bolster. Option to take a block or another smaller bolster, an egg to keep it between your knees. Reaching both arms up, twisting over to the side and falling like we did the first pose, but this time our bolster is long and not wide. Options for your hands, you can place them out in front of you. You can place them by the side, whatever feels comfortable. If you're feeling cold, you can drape the blanket over you at any time. Switch to your opposite cheek. Coming back to neutral spine. Using your hands to slowly make your way up. Face away from your bolster again. Switch your hips so that your right hip is pressed up against your bolster. Again, using the block or blanket. Reach those arms up. Twist and fold. switch to your opposite cheek. Come back to neutral spine. Slowly make your way up. Remove the block, the bolster, whatever's between your knees. Refold your blanket if necessary. This time place your knees and ankles together. Use the blanket, take a hip width stance, pulling them apart. Use the blanket to place underneath them for support, and slowly roll back into a reclined, supported hero pose. Your bolster is again at the base of your spine, at that fused sacroiliac region. If you wish, you can take your eggs here, your blocks. You can also take your mask or pillow or washcloth. This one is great at stimulating the enteric nervous system, a very little talked about system that controls your digestion. Take a big, deep inhale and exhale. When you're ready, slowly remove your eye pillow. Use your forearms to support you as you make your way up. Remove the blanket from between your legs. Turn back around, placing your knees on either side of that bolster. and come into child's pose. Again, options if you want more support, you can place the blanket beneath your knees or between your legs. If you don't like the blanket between your legs, you can always sit on a hamburger style block. That also takes some of the weight off your knees. Switch to the other cheek. Extend both arms out to the side, taking them long. I'm going to have to scoot because I didn't create enough space. Taking them nice and long here. And switch your cheek. Bring your hands to your feet, palms face up, chin is centered, digging into that bolster. If that's not comfortable, you can take a block and place your chest on it so that your bolster can support your forehead. Release your arms by your side. Slowly push yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. Take off your block if you used one, your towel. Sit yourself up, remove your blanket and any other accessories that you might have used. Let's make our way over to the wall. Options here to use a bolster. And so if you want to use a bolster, you can just plant that up against underneath your hips. If not, excuse me, make your way over to the wall, pretending the wall was the bolster, placing your hip as close as you can get it, and then extending your legs up and long. So ways to make yourself comfy in this position. You can use your eggs, towels, whatever you wish. Blanket will keep you warm. Blanket can be placed under your head for support. If you use your bolster, again, you're just placing it underneath your bunda. This, if you do no other pose in restorative, this is the pose to do. The closer you get your hips to the wall, the deeper this pose goes. So I saw this pose as a life hack. It said it was great for relieving migraines, especially if you place your eye pillow over your face here. And when I copied it shared it on my Facebook page, I said, hey, this is a restorative yoga pose. And I had two friends who are physical therapists say, hey, this is a physical therapy pose. So I'm not sure who we owe the credit for this pose, but this pose is great for venous return, for lymph return. You have a ton of junk that gets caught in the interstitial space and doesn't get filtered out as quickly, especially in your legs. And this pose helps to alleviate that. Let's find your comfortable position. Options, you can take your arms out into goalpost arms, taking a bit of a chest opener if you wish. You can take your arms long by your sides. Just relaxing. I'm actually going to remove my bolster because my floor is slippery and I can't get my hips close enough to the wall. There we go. I'm just going to... Another option for your hands is you can place one on your heart and one on your stomach. On your next inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Place your feet along the wall. Options to use your hands to keep your knees close together. You can place a block between your legs if you wish. Remember to keep your hips as close to the wall as you can. Let the wall push resistance against you. Remove the block from between your knees and let your knees fly out away from your midline, letting your feet, the bottoms of your feet meet. If you need to scoot yourself closer, I'm already up against the wall, but make sure that you're as close to the wall as you can be. Again, options to take goalpost arms, to take arms straight out in front of you, to take prayer hands, a hand on the heart, a hand on the stomach. One arm long, the other arm supporting, whatever feels good for you. I'm going to take one arm long, one arm supporting. If you're taking a supporting arm, switch it. And remember, when you provide support, you provide it above or below the elbow joint, not on the elbow joint. Release both arms long, bring the knees in together one more time for extending your legs long. Pedal your feet out here, flexing one foot and then the other. And release, just keeping those legs up the wall. Cross your right leg over your left and bend into a figure four. Drop that left leg down just a little until you feel a nice glute stretch. Remember that you don't want your hips to come off the floor. You want them to remain on the floor. And you want them to be as close to the wall as possible. If you need to take it out farther, that's fine. That's just a gentler stretch. And release that left foot long. Uncurl that right foot and meet the left. Recenter yourself. Hips as close to the wall as you can get them. Cross that left foot over the right. Bend into that figure four. Bend that right leg until you feel a gentle glute stretch. Remember that you don't want your hips to come off the ground for this. If they were to come off the ground, you would need to place the bolster underneath your hips. Send that right foot up and long. Bring that left foot to meet the right if you've used a bolster. Tuck it off to the side. Take windshield wiper legs ever so gently. Bring your arms out to the side. Just windshield wipering, if that's a verb. Those legs across the wall. You don't have to go down all the way. Again, this is restorative. You're not trying to do too much work. Bend those knees in towards your chest. Curl up into a little ball. And release. Press yourself away from the wall. Grab your bolster. Place it down on the floor and sit in a comfortable seated position. Options to just take pretzel legs here, bringing the knees down towards the ground. If you have essential oils, like I'm just going to take a few drops of lavender on my hands. This is what I typically use in class too. Even if you don't have essential oils, let's rub our hands together to warm them up. If you have the smell or the scent on your hands, take a few deep breaths. And rub your hands again. Reach up and back. Palms are facing away, towards you on your shoulder blades, and give yourself a tiny massage. Start at the base of the neck, taking tiny micro circles, and make your way up to your skull. From your skull, use your fingers in tiny micro circles to make your way behind your ears. Reverse your circle and make your way down your chin. From the chin, we just remove our hands and place them on our temples. Reverse your circle. From the temples, go across your eyebrows, meaning in your center forehead. From center forehead, we go back down the eyebrows, meeting in the temple region. Temples to behind your ear. Drop your chin to your chest. Start at your skull and go down your neck towards your C7 vertebrae, or the one that pokes out, vertebra. From there, make your way back towards your shoulders. Give your shoulders a few squeezes here, pinching only as far as it feels comfortable. And release. Drop your hands to your knees. Take tiny half-moon shoulder rolls. Coming back through chin to chest. Right ear, right shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. If your neck is healthy, take full circles here. And reverse that direction. Thank you guys so much for joining me for restorative, and I hope you are nice and relaxed. Have a great day.